are and if they are going to help or hurt Element Mystic, who may be at the back foot here.
It probably is the glass once again, because this is...
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually... Well, to be honest, Immortals has been using the Lion.
I mean, both teams did,
yeah, really well. But at the same time, this is one of those maps where the glass is super powerful, especially on the kitchen push and the penthouse push. So.
Yeah, but Immortals like glass. So it's a case where they could be keeping it for them because they have the ban now. So they could decide to keep it, and maybe Element Mystic should have gone with a glass ban instead of a Lion ban.
Immortals only have banned glass once, and I bet it was against NIP, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, so far both the glass bans have been from Element Mystic, but Immortals could have banned Blitz, which is really more traditionally a Latin American operator, but we don't know. Maybe Element Mystic are big Blitz players.
I'm speechless for the Blitz ban because I haven't seen APAC run Blitz.
I also haven't seen any Blitz play on this map that makes me go, wow, you got to ban Blitz on this map.
Yeah.
It's not really a huge map for him.
Yeah. Mirror ban, on the other hand, really traditional for Immortals, and Ego ban from the Element Mystic is just one of those operators that
standard
tends to get banned a lot more than one of the others.
Yeah. We'll see though. We are on bar to start with. An interesting start spot here.
And what do we see?
Yeah.
There it is. The man with the scope.
I'm always surprised when it's not Cyber, just because we know he's really good at it, but Diogo's a good glass as well. So we'll see what Bar has to hold, though. I think there can be some pretty good glass plays from Bar, depending on how you open it up and the angles that you have to work with, but at the same time, it's not maybe as open as some of the other sites to that.
Usually for the Blue Bar, Sunrise Bar, you put the glass all over to the ruins and just leave him there to keep cover fire in the early round, because you take the top floor control. So usually you do it from you take the aquarium, you take the pool table, you take the bar, and then you take hookah. Then you have the top floor control after that to actually execute for the Blue Bar, Pink Bar. So glass is helping to deny the place around pool, because you are holding the big window with the glass from the ruins, or you can actually raffle to the window as well, but it's more risky than playing from the ruins.
Might as well.
So you kind of keep the glass in a safe spot until they execute, and once you execute, you use those smokes and go play close range fights with the glass through those smoke grenades. So that's really common way to use the glass on this map.
Yeah, and you can definitely see him entering into the bar, for example, through a smoke, which we have seen sometimes done, but it is risky because, of course, you enter into potential crossfires depending on what you've done recon-wise. In this case, though, they are not bringing anything to deny entry into deny opening up the walls, for example, like a bandit or a mute. They're definitely just expecting that they potentially could open up some angles with Uke. In this case, Thermite is not banned as well, so that may be a factor in some later rounds. Now, I gotta imagine, though, Element Mystic probably didn't know which bomb site they were going to be attacking, so bringing kind of some general ops that they know they're going to use.
Well, if you think EU or NA meta, you usually start from the Blue Bar, Pink Bar, or from the kitchen. You rarely start from the penthouse anymore, because of glass, pretty much, and the Lion, because those just deny so much plays around the penthouse area. But so it shouldn't be surprised that the teams want to start from here. But this drone is actually in a good place. It's giving a lot of information.
Yeah, I saw
how many people?
Defenders.
Yeah.
Neilio, wow! Already that information backfiring on him as one gets killed by a very aggressive Ela push there. Nicely done guarding hookah.
Yeah, that's actually weird place to lose a player, because normally you drone it out that no one is at the door, and then you push it to the door, and you have one guy at the hookah window to actually shoot the guy that's playing around the bar, because if you're just trying to push from the doorway, there's usually one guy from below holding the doorway, and there is the kill hole from there, so it's way too risky to play it like that. You need to have the guy in the window.
Unfortunately, Navi's drone actually gets away from that unscathed. Oni-chan really struggling with that. Now, of course, he knows about that rotate hole. It's a pretty common rotate hole inside hookah there. Navi's still looking to try and follow up his shock drone with maybe some kills here from the courtyard. Now, but there we go. Freebie from Vigil, Sweet Black, but at least traded back by Oni-chan, who takes him down. Now it is still advantage defenders because of that. Losing Sweet Black, not a big deal, as we mentioned earlier. Roaming's not that great anyways on this map. In this case, though, Glass following it right on up onto Oni-chan. Nicely done by Diogo, who is not going to worry too much about the ruins part right now. He's definitely going in for the door. Has yet to use either of his smoke grenades, although they might not have even cleared ADSs yet here in sight. We know there was one on the stairs, so there could be a maximum of 2 inside the bar here. There's Buck doing his job from upstairs, going to start to pressure them into positions. Unfortunately, Diogo is not fast enough to catch that smoke. Does see him, but just long enough to get shot. Hetty at very low health, but winning that fight definitely important. Now advantage 2 defenders, as it's all Cyber trying to pressure from above, and Uke is going to be the one to have to enter for the plant, but he's actually entering into blue bar. He could actually go for a plant in blue. They're not really defending it so much right now, and Cyber's putting all the pressure on Sunrise. Instead, he jumps right in, wants to take the fights instead, does win one of them against Hetty. Now it's all on, I was going to say Neilio and Envy, but now Envy, the last man standing here from above, nearly sees the tip of the gun. There we go. Finds Buck, takes him down. Cyber is dropped, but he was not the defuse carrier. It is all on Uke now to make the plant. Time is up, so he knows he is in some kind of plant position. Drops down, finds him plenty of time left. Envy Taylor cleaning that up, and Element Mystic starting off not terrible in their first round.
Every single defensive round counts on this map, so really nice that they got one on the board right there. And it looked quite scrappy in the end. Like they had the advantage, but then they lost it and allowed the Dokkaebi and Buck to just, well, Hibana and Buck to enter to the pink bar. Hibana came from the blue bar, Buck came from the hatch. They got 2 kills, and then Buck got the 3rd kill, and they got the plant down. But nicely played from the Illusion in the end to save the round. But yeah, it's scrappy, actually, from both teams, because Immortals also lost a lot of players in the beginning for pretty much nothing to be gained with.
Yeah. I mean, the kill originally on Sweet Black was good, but after that, yeah, they were in a lot of compromising positions that kind of turned into trades. We'll see, though. They are going to be going to Kitchen this time. As you mentioned, the EU sort of meta, although this is Latin America, but it's still, you know, or Latin America and Korea.
Yeah.
So Korea apparently aping the EU meta.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there is not a single team in the whole pro scene that doesn't watch G2 matches.
Good point. Good point.
Because those guys are still the guys on the top, so everyone watches what they are doing, and if it fits their playstyle, they are pretty surely copying it at some extent.
Hopefully also thinking about how to counter it.
Yeah.
Because if everyone else copy it, might as well. In this case, Immortals did get caught off a little bit, but maybe they'll have an easier time on this site. They are continuing to bring the same operators. That glass can be pretty useful down that delivery area, though. Might work out a little bit better on this map.
So this bomb site usually goes down that the attackers take the top floor control. They want to enter the VIP, the penthouse, and make the holes to the floors. They do have the Buck there, so that's going to help out a lot to making out all those holes. And once you have those holes established, there's not many locations where the defenders can actually be at, and at that point you execute. You threw out your smoke grenades with Dokkaebi, with glass, and you push in with the glass, cover the plant, and it should be an easy one. Nice C4 kill from Onislan from the pink bar.
Definitely a surprise there on him.
I bet there was a Valkyrie cam somewhere in there.
Yeah, that might have been a pre-place, right?
Yeah.
Well, nicely done. Good start. We saw Sweet take a little bit of damage as well, maybe trying to do some peeking early, but the kill into Navi's, we know Navi's again is a key player on Immortals, so that was a really good additional kill. I mean, obviously that's luck, right? Because you don't necessarily know who's going to be entering there, but you know it's probably an entry factor, right? In this case, Cyber and Uke taking control of the penthouse, but they have someone to fight over there, and Legion Mines actually delaying them a little bit here, so they threw flashes they couldn't even push on because of that. In the meantime, Neilio taking down Diogo. This is looking pretty good for Element Mystic, surprisingly. He is on a roam here. They have pretty good hookah control between that C4 and Neilio's kill. Uke, though, in the meantime, finishing off Sweet Black. Still a man advantage, though, over to Element Mystic. Not to mention, Uke taking a lot of damage, getting stunned as well. Neilio might go to finish the kill, but it looks like he's not going to at the moment. Maybe he's going to open up some peek holes in the wall from a prone position. Oni-chan looking for players as well to kind of back him up. They're playing a very heavy roam game. You mentioned earlier, roam is definitely something they like to do, and they're definitely showing that in this round.
And it's so crucial on this bomb site that you roam the top floor and you spend as much as time from the attackers.
Wow.
You don't need to get kills even as a roamer. You just waste time so that the attackers don't have time to establish the control over VIP and Penthouse, and that's what they did. They got 2 kills. They only lost Lucian that was playing on the top A side. Nice 2 kills coming out. Onichan taking Yuke, while Cyber trays to Heady.
Well, at least that is taking down the one hard breacher. Not a huge deal on this particular bomb site, but that certainly will help. Phone call is, or I'm sorry, rather a phone hack finally happening, I think, at some point. Phone call definitely. They are going to start to try and play off of that now. They're going to have to get a bit more aggressive. Cyber trying to play from one side and one from another. But these reinforcements here really working in his favor. One managing to get the kill on Nelio, who has been an important player, but now it's down to some potentially site players left. Nope, Plant is just going to go down uncontested. Here we go, the moves coming out. Unfortunately, not finding the angle right away through the grading. Oni-chan trying to take shots. He needs Envy Taylor to come around and back him up in the bathroom. Fight's going to come down there soon, but Cyber is trying to hold that as the potential flank for control. Diffuser was planted, already ticking away on time here. Meantime, Cyber does take down Oni-chan, and a really strong defense falling apart here, all on Envy Taylor, who does get baited in by Cyber to a nice finish. And Immortals taking it back to a 1-1 tie position.
Nice execute from Immortals, realizing, probably from droning, that there's no one playing the freezer bomb side. So let's go in and plant the diffuser right there. It's whenever the defender gives out a free diffuser plant, it just feels like something went wrong every single time, because you just cannot give them those out free. And once you start to rotate back to the side, they were close to go from the kitchen with both, and you had the reinforced wall, you had the rotation hole. You could have gone from one from the hole, one from the door, but they rotated all the way to the main office, main door, and the Buck just had perfect position to actually deny both of those entry points. So
I mean, they almost managed to do some clutching when they were fighting from the kitchen itself, because the shots, had the grading not stopped the headshot, might have been able to get one, but that's, you know, that's what happens, right? That's why you're playing by the grading.
But it all came down to the Buck plays from Immortals anyway, because they went, they took the VIP, they took the Penthouse, they made the holes and forced the defenders out of position from the side, so that there cannot be anyone playing those bomb sites. They had to play off the side and concentrate on the retake, so it came down to the Buck plays.
Well, it's a case where the roaming did kind of backfire on them in the end, I guess.
Well, they did really good on the roaming, because they burned so much time. But in the end, it didn't matter, because the Immortals were able to pick them one by one anyway, so...
Yeah. We'll see how they do this run, as it is 1-1. They are going to go back to the same site again. Kitchen, try maybe work it a little bit differently. In this case, though, some of the element of surprise may not be there as much from Element Mystic. But I guess the same could be said of Immortals.
They have Valkyrie's camp set up towards all kind of corridors here. One main corridor, one on the ping pong corridor, I think, and one upstairs. But there are still none to be seen to watching the freezer door. Like, I think you can play the kitchen area without any information like echo drones or walk cams, but you need something for the freezer door, because it's so easy. It's just you take one step from the door inside and you can plant. So you need some kind of information that's not going to happen.
Especially like we saw last time, late round, right? When you don't have as many people left.
Yeah.
Because you know, what are dead people going to do? Watch cams.
Yeah. At least I hope they are.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing that I think every team has. Novice takes kill.
Wow.
And Neil and trades to Novice. And trade from one.
Trade and trade.
Trades are coming in.
Advantage to Immortals, though, in this case, because it wasn't traded back again. So 4-3, but still 1:40 left. Looking like pretty good for Immortals on this round to maybe take it this time. A little bit more map control. They're getting upstairs, forcing roamers off. Buck is still alive, as you mentioned how impactful he was last time. Envy Taylor, though, he's going to kill Diogo and take out at least the glass, and that's some additional pressure off. Gives them a little bit more ability to move around without having to worry about as much about doors and windows. Yuke also going to put pressure on that door you mentioned earlier, potentially to go for a plant later as he is the diffuse carrier. C4 unfortunately misses, gives Cyber the opportunity to trade it back. Unfortunately, he can't find the shot either. Just opening up the floor in VIP, not finding anything. Oni-chan about half health, and Envy Taylor actually fairly low as well. This is
and Immortals are setting up for the push from the freezer door now with 2 people.
Yeah, this is looking like they're going for that. But the aggressive push from Heady catches one off guard. Yuke is dead, and Smoke coming out here is going to push him back even further. So I guess the highest health defender is trying to make it count. Oh, he didn't spot the legs there. Cyber, unfortunately, not getting the extra intel he's hoping for. He's going to be looking for any advantage to help his teammates downstairs, though, because one needs to push. This looks similar to last time, except for in this case, well, no, now it's back to what it was last time, pretty much.
There is the smoke. Smoke is on place, so they can go in now and plant. The only question is, does Valkyrie have C4? I don't think he has. Yeah, he used it to the box, so it's going to be a hard one for the element to defend this one. And the plant is going down behind the table.
Typical. But Cyber is guarding from the doorway, trying to look behind the bomb, looking for anyone pressuring from that side. They're going to expect it. They're also expecting to push from the bathroom, where the Jaeger of NB Taylor was trying to pressure from. He's giving that away with the pre-fires. They're just holding tight here at this point. NB Taylor just cannot take even one bullet before he is down. He's going to try and sneak around pre-fire. Does catch one a little bit off guard, but doesn't turn it into a kill. Tries to bait it out. Another one. Oni-chan gets one kill. Can he turn it into another one? Because Diffuse is planted, so in this case, he's going to have to either bring up his teammate or try and fight Buck alone. Even then, he does succeed. Now he has, I'd say, plenty of time to make this Diffuse happen. Nice play. He has such low health.
He has low health, and there was time to pick up the teammate. He decided to not do that, to rather go for the frag. That was a really scary play, because usually there is a claymore on that door. This time, luckily there wasn't, but usually you need two people, because one either needs to shoot the claymore or die for the claymore, so that actually the second guy can push out. But yeah, really nice to play it in the end for the retake. But I would say it's still an issue that you're giving the free plant, uncontested plant.
Yeah. Well, looks like we're going to get a tactical pause here to recollect themselves.
2 rounds from the defensive side in Coastline. It's already working out pretty well for elements, so they surely do have some kind of plan for the map to let it go through.
No. I gotta say too, we can blame Ubisoft for why there wasn't a claymore on the last one, because they took it from Habana.
Yeah.
That's who was playing the door.
Yeah, but there also was Dokkaepi.
That's true. That's true. But you know that's going to be on smokes.
Yeah, the Dokkaepi is going to run smokes.
So
yeah.
that's kind of a given for the most part. We are probably going to be going back to Bar here for their next site. They're just trying to rethink what they can do, try and secure this out, because like you said, every defensive win matters a lot here on this map.
Well, they had the Twitch also last round, so the question is, did Nose die before he placed his Claymore, or did he put it somewhere else, like
probably somewhere else?
Kitchen window, hookah doorway, or something like that?
Probably, yeah. I would imagine one of those two, kitchen window or hookah doorway, are both good ones for that. And they weren't considering pushing that that kitchen door, or the delivery door, just yet. So we'll see though how they play for this. Now they're still bringing the glass, still bringing the same operators for the most part here for Bar, and they know it's obviously not going to be kitchen again. Probably going to be Bar since they can go back to it. So they are comfortable using those same operators for this attack.
Yeah, if you need to pick a side from a pink bar, blue bar, and penthouse, of course you're gonna pick this one. It's less risky to defend this, especially when there is glass on the board, so yeah, a good side pick.
Well, we'll see how it goes down here as they get set up for this round. Now, of course, both teams having won a map, this is the most important map to win, and any kind of edge definitely matters, especially when we factor in psychology, right, and any kind of streak you can get. No one's really on a streak just yet, though, because both teams have kind of traded.
And this one was so scrappy last time, like, it went down to the two people from Immortals, blue bar, Buck and Hibana pushing from the blue bar and the hatch to the pink bar and getting 4 kills in total. So this time I want to see more coordinated push from the Immortals. They actually take the top floor control, buck the floors, and after that push for the pink bar, because that's usually the place where the push is going to come. Of course, you can also do it from the aqua and then take the offices and then push for the blue bar, but usually the garden area in the middle of the map is going to be a problem because it's so easy to see for impact grenade that wall, and you have direct line of sight behind the blue bar after that.
We'll see it. Maybe Sweet Black will live a little bit longer this time on his roam as Vigil. Last time he got caught off guard by the player inside the courtyard. Probably won't fall prey to the same mistake this time, but either way, roaming is very hard on this map. So it depends on whether or not he can get caught out. And obviously looking for anything he can take out. They know that there is definitely going to be some gadgets to hit. There's ADSs, there's goo mines, there's black eyes. Obviously no pre-placed smokes because no one does that. But definitely plenty to hit. Looking for anything you can even hit from below. So appreciate the effort here, but unfortunately doesn't give a whole lot other than intel about the rotate holes. Onichan Wall getting a call. Finally places that last camera in kitchen to be able to help hold that, give himself some eyes around that corner, as that window is open as well. Unfortunately, no one falling for that bait. Sweet Black did live long enough to at least go upstairs and hang out in that pool area you were just talking about. So we'll see if he can make it happen here from there. He does get phone called.
It's already 1 minute 30 seconds gone, and they haven't established any control. While Cyber takes the kill to Vigil. Only like a couple HP left, but still nice kill, getting finally the Vigil out of the board, and now they have top floor control. I don't think they know it, but they do. So now it's time to drone it out and start bucking the floor so that you actually can execute, because time is running out.
Well, with how important the buck has been, that low health may factor in as well, especially if they're able to do any kind of damage, or a C4 that's even slightly off can still potentially finish him off, but
especially because time is running out. You don't have time to reset the buck, because buck has to do all those holes.
Yep. Well, in the meantime, the glass is going to get taken out again. Diogo has been struggling a little bit here on that glass play. So that is going to be at least one kill back to even things out. If they can finish off Cyber as well, that could put them in a decent position to be able to defend this. Is losing the roamer is not a big deal, especially when there's only 40 seconds left anyways. And Envy Taylor, I'm sure, has been placing plenty of goo mines around to try and slow things down. Especially, in fact, maybe that could be the way Cyber dies. We'll see, though. They still have a hard breach on the board as well if they want to open up any kind of angles via that. A little bit of damage, I think, coming out from the Skeleton Key. There's Hetty finished off by Uke. So now things definitely more evened up, as it is advantage here to Immortals 4-3. 17 seconds left, though. They've got to make this push happen here. No time to dilly-dally, as you mentioned. No time for resets or anything like that. Only chance still in the roam, though, far off site, but he could be a very important flank here. Just about to catch him, but the Claymore catches him. There's the Claymore you were talking about earlier for Twitch. Now we know where it is for here. There we go. Going for the plant, but there, knife just in time. The refrag by one, the only thing that saves that round for them.
That was so close. The blunt was going down. If it would have been like 2 seconds later, the knife kill would have ended the round. So
yeah,
almost, but not quite. But it came down to what we talked. They are going to take the top floor control, and after that execute to the side. They spent the whole round to do it because there wasn't much time left on the clock once they finally started to execute for the side. But still, they've got the top floor control. Eventually, killed the Vigil, bucked the floors, and executed to the side.
Well, again, it was a fairly scrappy one, and they're going to try one more time in this case. And could be the final time, but either way, winning 2 rounds, as you mentioned earlier, is good on defense, because this is often an attacker-sided map, so any defensive rounds you get just help you when you get to switch sides.
And it's going to be the blue bar, pink bar again. I hope this time Element will actually have more than 1 people upstairs, because trusting Vigil to be the only one holding it is... It's harder to drone him, but still, they will find him eventually.
Yeah, you almost need to set him more for late rotates upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't count on staying up there alive. Yeah. They're going to get that map control most of the time. And yeah, like you said, they're relying on Vigil to do the whole thing.
You could, if you don't want to be upstairs, like completely upstairs, you can play from cool wipe stairs and speed there. You can have from there line of sight to hookah, because you can make holes to the wall next to the hookah. You will have line of sight to the bar, pool table bar, and you have the option to rotate downstairs or rotate upstairs. So that's a good place to play. Of course, there's the risk of that drone hole from the roof that you can toss out grenades to the cool wipe stairs and you might get killed, but an ADS, of course.
So that's why we saw an ADS on the stairs before as well, so. We'll see, though, if Immortals can bring this in their favor going into the last round, because this is, of course, you know, you can't have a tie going into the round switch, so. I mean, I guess in theory, if you got to draw at the end, maybe you could. I don't know what would happen in that scenario, but I imagine they'd end up with 3-3 somehow into the switch. But either way, very unlikely to happen. Again, they're able to just put the drone right on top of the bomb.
That drone is working so well. They always sneak it out there, and it's giving so much information. How many people are playing on the pink bar? And once they finally go take the top floor control, the buck will know what he needs to buck, because they have the information where the players are.
Well, they are going to start opening up some nice angles there. They're not playing with the glass this time, which is probably smart. I mean, Diogo has just been struggling to make that glass work, especially on this bomb site. Instead, he's going to use something to burn them out behind the bar, potentially. Although Yuke, in the meantime, is going to take down Hetty, which means no smoke. And this should be a much, much easier push through that doorway if they need to. Sweet Black just jumps right out, gets a kill right after. Envy Taylor gets one. It is a very, very risky plays here. No Claymore on that window, right?
The aggression is huge at the moment, but Enzo, I think you know this, but who dares wins. So sometimes if you want to win, you need to take the risk. So
absolutely, especially if you take those risks and you know how to pull back after, right? You take your victory and then you turtle up after that. You like, we got the advantage, we have the man advantage, we have the kills. Unfortunately, in this case, they lost the smoke though, which wasn't important in terms of holding back that turtle. And also, Diogo is still alive to be able to potentially burn out behind the bar, so they can't hold it as well. But Sweet Black.
This was from Vigil.
Oh, this is an aggressive play. But hey, aggression has been working for them this round. Unfortunately, Drone does not know exactly where he's at. Might be thinking he's right around the corner. Don't shoot that drone, that's for sure. So if they know he's right there, of course, they can potentially burn him out with that capped out too.
But they might think he's in hookah actually, because you don't know if it's top floor or the bottom floor areas.
Good point, because he was in hookah earlier. So Diogo, though, definitely looking for any angles he can get. I have a feeling one of them's going to walk right into Sweet Black.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah. Well, in this case, especially if you're a defender, right? 40 seconds left. Cyber, in the meantime, taking down Envy Taylor, trading back one of the ones earlier. And, of course, that is the Buck who's still alive, which is going to make it much harder to hang out behind that bar. Sweet Black needs to pick a side to watch because he's definitely kind of putting himself in a position where timing is going to be a huge factor from here. No one's pushing him from that window. Don't move and make sound. He's definitely making some bad plays. Cyber, again, following up his previous kill onto Envy with one on Emilio. And then a wall bank from Oni, taking down Diogo. Now Sweet Black is going to move off because he doesn't need to worry about that player outside. Nice play by Oni-chan. Manages to drop him. Sweet Black finishing off Cyber as well. It is all on one to try and do something here. 3 seconds left. Going to make the push. Oni-chan finishes him off through a prone hole. Element Mystic going into the half with 3 points on defense.
That's the problem that I was talking about doing the blue bar push, because once you actually push to the blue bar, the defenders usually make some kind of hole for the middle garden, and they have the line of sight straight to behind the bar. And the Valkyrie got 1 kill from there, and then the second kill for the bomb planter, so or diffuser planter, but still 2 frags from there. So that's why teams prefer the pink bar. It's much safer to go for there because you can actually hide behind the bomb, you can hide behind the table, you can actually go plant behind the actual pink bar. There's so many locations you can be safely planting, but the blue bar is always risky.
Yeah, definitely something they're going to have to learn, but of course no more rounds in that side because they're switching sides now, and Oni-chan going to do a very clever 6th pick from Hibana to Hibana. Yeah. Penthouse, something we didn't see at all from Element Mystic, going to be the first site coming out. For Immortals, like you said, not usually at least the EU meta to be playing that site first, but seems like that in...
Element Mystic might not be expecting the Penthouse first, or otherwise they, at least I would be bringing out the glass because it's not banned. But they do have the Blackbird, so they can put the Blackbird on the big window, cut off all the rotation skills that kill the guys playing B. Also, once you actually have the plant down, you can sit there and hold the angles for the A players, trying to get any peeks for the window, or the players that are playing at the master bedroom or the guitar. So it's a powerful position. But
we'll see.
Before that, you need the VIP control.
Yeah, that's something that's usually not too hard to get, but some teams are very good at playing 2 men in there. We've seen a lot of people playing behind that bookshelf, for example, in the corner as a Jaeger, so he can kind of use ADSs to protect himself. I mean, we'll see how they play it here in terms of the reinforcement. They look like the deployable shield in the doorway, but I saw Legion packing it up. Are we going to place it somewhere else instead?
Yeah, there's usually 2 types of teams, the ones that fight for the VIP and the ones who don't. The problem is that when you fight for the VIP, the enemy team usually checks it, and okay, they are fighting for the VIP. Let's go from the aquarium all the way to Luggage and just open the wall to A-bomb side. So the guys on the VIP are kind of pointless at that stage. So it's problematic. You play one or the other, and you're kind of screwed in one way or the other. So it's really hard side at the moment.
Yeah, definitely one that's been problematic. Despite the fact that, Muir was banned, it's still the attackers have to kind of play around whatever the defensive setup is because they're not necessarily going to be familiar with it, as this is the first defensive round for Immortals. But Yuke taking a bit of damage early. Sweet Black again, despite being a quote-unquote window player we were talking about earlier, just walks right in.
Yeah, when he plays Lion, he goes for the windows, but when he has the Blackbird, he actually goes inside of the building. That's the IQ 200 things. We just don't get it.
So, and we're hearing, I think FaZe won the first map against Rogue 6-4, if I understood that correctly. So, that is interesting, to say the least.
You're taking the first kill to enemy seller with Jaeger, so taking out the Jackal off the board, that cuts the roam hunt quite highly. And here we have Novus trying to get the kill to the guy playing on the northeast roofs.
Well, at least the kill on the Jackal will definitely make roaming a bit easier for them. But Hetty, in the meantime, getting a kill with one of the lifelines onto Yuke. Nicely played there. Good trade back, and that is the Jaeger down. So one less potential roamer off the board. They are trying to put pressure over here from the theater side. Oni-chan, in the meantime, though, taking down Cyber with a nice long angle, trying to play like he is Glaz. Poor Cyber now down. Less goo mines on the board means potentially faster attack towards the end. There's that nice evil eye we see sometimes in the corner there. I always like that play. It's a fun one to be able to see both hallways and rotate off. Unfortunately, the timing there working out for Sweet Black. And he is able to get away with very little damage on him. Smoke almost gives him a bit more. He's got to be careful not to walk up to this electrified wall as well. And they're getting stalled out.
I think Sophie at the moment shouldn't be there with the Blackbird. He should rotate downstairs, shoot out those batteries with the launcher, and have actually the Hibana come there and open up the wall.
Well, in the meantime, Diogo does get dropped, though, so there's not smoke here. It's going to be all if they can take out one here on that Maestro, and Navi's trying to play around him as well. Both of them stacked up in this room, but they're all stacking up in the doorway. He doesn't see them going prone in the doorway as well. The stun actually coming out at him, and Hetty finished things off after Sweet Black and one get kills each. A pistol finish there. I got to agree with what you said earlier, but luckily it managed to work out for them. But that was a bit of a drastic play.
Why need tactics? Just play Blackbird and shoot heads.
Right. Well, in this case, that puts them at 4-2. So, like you said earlier, getting those earlier rounds definitely paying off. Now, Immortals feeling the pressure. They're going to go for that tactical timeout to think about things.
Yeah, they had rough attacks, and now they are down 2-4 in a map where defending is kind of hard. So they really need to work out something. I would start by not playing the penthouse, because it's way too hard to defend that bomb site.
Well, so far it seems like that's what they want to go with, but they are in their tactical timeout. So they could be thinking about what they want to do differently, and maybe that'll be the change-up that you mentioned. But there seems to be a bit of a head-scratcher for them. Maybe they should have banned Blackbeard instead of Blitz, unless they know something I don't know about.
Yeah, the Blitz ban was just off the books.
Maybe that's something they're used to for Latin America. They're like, because you know,
yeah,
they're a big player.
Yeah, there's Julio, there's Sexy Cake that are running Blitz
Mav
on this map all the time. Yeah, Mav as well. So, yeah, that might come down to again that both of these teams have quite a little few experience with international teams. They have played quite a lot on their own region, but they haven't played against EU or NA or against each other before, so they don't know the... I have had the same feel many times, that you expect something, but then when you start to play first time against LATAM team, or when you play first time against NA team, it's like, they do things this way.
Yeah, you
can watch the WOTS, but the WOTS doesn't give the same feel as when you finally play against them and feel out that, okay, they are playing in this rhythm, they want to hold these corners, they don't push from here where the EU always pushes. It's always different with each region. They all have their own small meta. They follow the main meta, everyone, but they all still have their own tendencies in every region.
Makes a difference with things like pre-fires and things like that as well, right? Because you know what spots to expect from teams. I mean, that's where it definitely helps for big events like this to come out in boot camp early, because you get a chance potentially to scrim with other teams doing the same thing. And then that, of course, gives you experience with another region. Even if it's not a team you're playing against later on, it might be one that's from that region and helps bring that experience to you.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems Immortals starts yet again with the same penthouse defense. This time they're bringing out the Pulse, so that's one way to try deal with the push to the penthouse, but still the Pulse only has one C4, so in most situations he's only gonna get one player with that, but if he gets lucky he might get a couple.
The more important thing, of course, is that he gets whoever the diffuse carrier is, right? Because if you're lucky, that drops the diffuse carrier in sight, and if there's no one there to pick it up, that forces them into a position that's very compromised. Unfortunately, while he was sixth picked, quickly revealed by Oni-chan's drone.
That's the key points of this map. Once you take the VIP control, before you take the VIP control. You can do it one way or the other. You need to contest the guy playing below, because if there's a guy with C4 below, you just cannot let him be. You need to do something about it. Otherwise, it's going to wreck the bomb planter every single time.
Yeah, well, we have seen some teams play it on the bed, right, where they go for the plant, but then the C4 gets thrown up and over the bed. So, we'll see though, Uke just completely punishing Envy Taylor, trying to play Buck up there on the roof, and that is Jackal tracking that will not be happening, so they can keep their muddy shoes on, because now advantage over to Immortals, because that was within the first minute as well. Might as well have been a spawn peek for how little he was able to do first, and then a follow-up on the Neilio from Cyber. Sweet Black, though, at least trading it back, and there we go, a nice play onto Sweet Black. Fortunately, taking a bit to finish him off, but takes no damage in the process despite the shield. A bit of a misplay there by Sweet Black, not able to follow it up. Now it's down to 2 attackers versus 4 defenders. Quite a bit of time, at least, for the attackers to rotate, but their position give it away and quickly killed Uke, at least trading with Hetty. But unfortunately, that trade not going to do a lot for you as one finishes off Oni-chan, and that is a round on the board for Immortals. Finally starting to make a little bit of a comeback and even things up a little more.
What can I say? It almost feels like they heard us and used a tactical timeout so that the coach can actually say that the one who dares wins, because they actually started to peek everything and picked the round by that.
Absolutely worked for them that round. Wow, it's just, I mean, no one really got to get inside. It was just everyone was killed outside of Sweet Black, and he was just one room in Hookah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Hookah, we are going to see Hookah for the first time here as well. So both these 2 bomb sites were the 2 bomb sites not played by Element Mystic, because they only played 2 bomb sites. So it's interesting. We're going to see a very different set of defense rounds.
Yeah. So in Hookah, it's usually you have a lot of guys playing upstairs. There might be one guy playing downstairs, like Pulse, like we saw in last round, but they might be 6-picking it, but...
There we go. 6th pick from Oni-chan yet again. This time to Monty. All right.
And Valkyrie for the Immortals. So Valkyrie still can do the same thing as Pulse. And also you can throw the cams outside to have the information. But the attacks that usually come in this map are that you take the Aqua and then you push for the pool table and try to get the plant over there, while you have a guy at the Hookah window to cover the guy playing on the Hookah B bomb side. So you have a crossfire from there. The other way...
Go ahead.
Yeah, the other way around is to come from the VIP, but usually that means that you're first taking the map control and then you're doing the same exact plant, because rarely you see teams going first for the B bomb side and planting straight through for B, because there's only one doorway you can enter the Hookah, so you have more options to go for the pool table bomb side.
And not to mention, if you try and swing it through the window, it's going to be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Now, of course, these outside cams can be useful for spawn peeks, but Hetty quickly finishing that. So you were talking about the aggression they had last round. I think Element Mystic also realized that was maybe what hurt them last round. Nice counter peek. Takes just a tiny bit of damage, maybe about 10, 12 HP damage.
Always be ready for the spawn peaks.
Always, especially on the maps that are big, wide open ones like this one in Consulate. Definitely plenty of angles that could be had there. And the Monte might still be a bit of a surprise here. They might not have given away that he's there yet, as he was a 6th pick. So this could be something that they're not prepared for, forcing them to rotate a bit unexpectedly, and they could catch them on rotates. The Sweet Black catches Navis on his own rotate. Now they're going to know about Monty potentially, but it's not going to do them a whole lot of good. They do have Maestro, which could potentially help with that. He's going to be laying that Evil Eye down in the usual corner, playing it from Cool Vibes. They know about Monty now. In this case, they could pretty easily Zofia that Evil Eye. In this case, though, it looks like they're using stuns instead. There we go, switch to the right one. I think it finally took it out. Nope. Jackal finally getting some tracking going on from NB Taylor as well. Lifeline's definitely being used. They are going to be able to start to make some progress.
If you have a good multiplayer, it's a so powerful operator to have, because it's moving drone that doesn't get destroyed so easily. You get all the information about the Evil Eyes, Echo drones, barbed wires, and where the players are. It's just a powerful tool to have in any situations, pretty much. So if you have a player to do that, use it.
Yeah. Looks like they're making some last-minute audibles in terms of who's going to hold the diffuser and get ready for the plant here. Obviously, it's not going to be Monty unless they wanted to go for that turtle plant. He's going to be pushing very aggressively onto Uke here. Of course, Uke going to play behind that bar, hoping that he gets baited into it. Smoke comes out, does a little bit of damage, and the fire does knock him back, but that's a smoke baited out already. A minute left. Phone calls coming as well. That's going to keep him busy behind the bar. And then Sweet Black using his own shield to do some serious damage on Diogo. This is going to force him to a position where that crossfire no longer effective, but Fight lost thanks to Envy Taylor's backup, but one trading it back with his own ACOG LMG. Gonna be looks away just in time to get shot in the face by Hetty. An attacker win again. Element Mystic looking dangerously close to staying alive here in this tournament.
Really nice attack from Element Mystic, and it went down pretty much how I said it would. They take the VIP control, after that rotate to the aquarium from there and push for the pool table. They used the Montaigne and Jackal to do that, and while the Blackbird and Sophia was playing on the VIP corridor, the only thing I would have changed from that is to rotate the Blackbird once you have the map control from the VIP to the pool pick window, because then you have the shield player on the window as well to have all those rotations cut off.
Doesn't seem like he likes to do that though. He really likes to just go in and get his hands dirty.
But when he plays Lion, he goes for the windows. So
irony, right? Well, either way, they are going to just completely reveal the Montaigne this time. Maybe 6th pick off of it, though. And that's the thing, of course, you're going to just be like, oh, well, they know, so I'm going to do it this time. And then, debated, switch around again. You know, but the Vigil has actually switched to that Pulse again. That's not a huge surprise. He has 6th pick to the Pulse before. But Monty, nope, going to stand his ground so far. Still 10 seconds left in the 6th pick.
I really like the Pulse pick, because usually when you defend the hookah billiard room, the enemy team takes the map control from the VIP. So when you go to the kitchen, you actually see people droning in the VIP. They're staying still, so you can take the kill with the UMP, with the shotty, or with the C4 to the droners. You get easy picks like that, because you are not getting challenged to the kitchen in hookah home side. There's rarely anyone there.
I mean, that's what a roamer's all about, right? Is catching people in the areas where they feel most vulnerable.
Yeah, or where they think they're safe.
Yeah. That's what I meant, yeah.
But
when you feel they're most vulnerable.
Yeah. This time, Immortals.
Well,
what? It looks so. What?
10 seconds to insertion.
Well, they're definitely setting up down here.
Yeah.
5 seconds left.
Could be setting up for some jump outs again. Their aggression did work for them one round.
Attackers have
See if he's going to
recovered
follow
their
this up with a potential spawn
Attackers'
peek. Nope.
objective is to locate a
Not
bomb.
right there, at least.
Attackers have
Still
located
using
a
the same
bomb.
cams, and this time they reinforce the wall to the VIP so that the Sophia and Blackbird are not able to establish the crossfires from there that easily. But it seems the push this time will actually come from the hookah. Nope, skipping that.
Just checking it, just in case. You never know. The door was open earlier. Got closed again, though, after the camera throw. Sweet Black, of course, not going to work the windows. Just going to go upstairs instead to the roof. Cyber still on the roam, though. Oni-chan could be one to catch him off guard here. He's going to start to open this door up.
This is dangerous play to have Montaigne play him on his own. Of course, he's a more moving drone, but still, you have Pulse on the left and Valkyrie on the right, so...
I don't think he knows about that.
Yeah, that's the situation. How you kill Montaigne. You establish the crossfire and shoot him down. And he already half of the HP cut. It's just, why are you putting your Montaigne dual 2 players alone?
He's keeping him busy. The other players better be doing something useful, because Envy Taylor falls in the meantime. Surprisingly, he's dying before this Monty, who just finally rotates off. Did burn a lot of defender time, but that's not exactly useful in this case. He's going to call out that they're there, but in the meantime, they lost their ability to track any of those roamers. Sweet Black's still alive, though, on the shield, pushing around inside as usual. He is getting a little paranoid, though, now that Monty is not keeping 2 of the roamers busy.
Yeah, exactly. And last time they used the Montaigne to establish the map control and pretty much drone out all the areas of the map, but now the Montaigne is just surfing around the map outside, so it's not really helping the team. Now he's rotating finally to the VIP, so they can actually start to push from the VIP. They don't really have time to rotate him all the way to the aquarium, so I think the...
Ooh!
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
Nice trades back and forth. Neilio taking down Cyber. Navi's getting Neilio on the trade. Now advantage over to Immortals, who are, you know, 1 round away from being out of this. This is map and match point, so every little advantage matters here for Immortals. But Yuka's low on health. I don't think they're going to take the time to reset him either, so that could be an easy kill to even things out here. They still have the C4, of course, of Navi's, but at least Cyber is taking on the meantime. And although he had used the C4 earlier, trying to catch Oni-chan on this Monty, who has given away his position to Yuk, who decides to back off because, well, even a single hipfire shot would be more than enough to finish him off.
There's a big problem that the Pulse is still downstairs and getting the kill with the C4. That's how you play the Pulse on this side, because they are coming through those doorways. You will get the easy kills.
Well, Monty, unfortunately, is going to take a lot of damage, but at least trades it onto Yuke before pulling out the goo mine. It is down to the 2 shield players left here, Sweet Black and Oni-chan, to try and push this. Doesn't find anyone behind that bar anymore. Forced to push up and take it down, but just surprisingly not. Defenders win the round. Navi's finishing things out with a nice little flank right at the last second, just catching Blackbeard right in the back where he has no shield.
This was kind of a weird round because Element executed the round before so well. They had the plan that they wanted to execute, but this time the Montaigne was doing his own thing, and I think that held back the whole team.
Yeah, it did.
Because if you're a Montaigne, you're calling the 2 players, there's 2 players here, come on guys, 2 players here, and everyone else is still doing the old plan, because it looked like that everyone else is still doing the same plan that they did the round before, and Montaigne has his own plan. It's like 4 people are playing tactic A and 1 player is playing tactic B, and that kind of mixes the balance of the whole team at that point.
Not to mention, tactic B was certainly not working.
Yeah,
So.
go for the A.
Well, this is a tough situation too, because yeah, it's still map and match point for Element Mystic, but if they lose this round, it goes into overtime, in which they lose the advantage that they have of being on that map and match point. So this is a big deal to not mess with. Don't be making some silly plays like that. They are going to 6-pick off that Monty though, which of course that it didn't work out super great last round just because of them messing around on it. 6-pick as well. One is still trying to decide who he wants, and he's going to end up on Legion. No Maestro for this site, and I feel like Maestro was a bit of a help on this, especially with that camera in the corner of the double hallway there.
I really like to play Maestro in this map, and having Maestro overall in this map, because there's usually some kind of smoke screens that you need to see through, and Maestro is one of the best ways to do that. So when you play the penthouse, you can have the Maestro either try to deny the open of the A walls or the VIP walls, or you can use them at the side to actually have the line of sight to the enemies even through the smoke screens that they're providing. So
10 seconds left.
switch to Legion. Legion is good,
5 seconds to go.
but not necessary. Also, Valkyrie is good. Well, Valkyrie has the C4, so he might be playing from below, trying to get the C4 kills, but I would still want to have the Maestro on this one.
Well, we saw where 2 of his cameras went, and those weren't necessarily for spots to C4 from below. So hard to say if that's going to be the case here. Like I said, it might have been a little bit of a missed switch, switching over to Legion instead. We'll see though, they are still setting up a little bit late in this round, and he's going to switch over to Legion and then roam? I definitely question this play here from 1.
Although when they do the aggressive plays, it seems to be working, and when they play passive, it's not working. So
True. Because they're used to playing Latin America.
Yeah.
Where you can't really play passive. He's going to get called off though, and this is probably going to work out to his own benefit, forcing him to rotate back to site here. In the meantime though, Yuke might be the roamer that they need. Cyber as well, potentially, I imagine, if he's roaming downstairs. Oni-chan, though, taking down Navi's. That's the Bandit down. Not a huge kill early on, but that is a 3-speed operator that is fairly deadly with the C4.
And it's still the best player from Immortals historically, so I would say that's a huge kill for Element.
Yeah, not operator-wise, but definitely player-wise.
Yeah.
For sure. Cyber still, though, going to continue to push his luck downstairs. Hope he can catch anyone off guard. As we said earlier, attackers have the advantage on this map, so this is definitely a tough position to be in, being a defender down here on this. And Footprints getting caught out here. Cyber, if he only knew he could see for it, now perfect person's footprints to get to find out you would just escaped death there. Well, that's going to force Cyber off. He's still going to get pinged for a while. That's going to force him to move around a lot, and he gives away his position with that C4. Still somehow winning a lot of that gunfight. Why is he winning this? Still traded back, but in the meantime, 2 kills win out against the attackers. Yuke, though, gets dropped in the meantime. It is now 3v2, 1 minute left. A lot of aggressive plays here from both sides. They're going to continue to do what they did before, which is to play from below, play in theater, trying to defend as long as possible. Smoke's coming out there from Diogo, who's about less than half health. One trying to make sure no pressure coming from the window. But it is all down to a low health Diogo to try and hold off the room while the flank comes out from 1. Tries to go around. Smoke's going to cover it up, though. Diogo gets 1, but he's traded off by Hetty. Now 1 has to clutch this out against 2 full health operators with great guns. Goes peek around the corner to his own demise. And that is it. Element Mystic are your victors. They're staying here. Immortals get to watch from the audience as Element Mystic get one more chance to stick around to the weekend in the right place to be.
Wow, what a round from Element Mystic. It was scrappy again, and in the end, they had the tools to open up the wall, but they still go for that one doorway push against smoke, with the smoke canisters, with the shotgun. It worked now, but I bet and guarantee it's not gonna work